One thing I've always loved about Oda is how he's able to rework in villains and other characters back into the story that we haven't seen since maybe 300, 400 chapters ago, and he makes it seamless, and all the people he brings back has a role to the story, which I feel like very few authors are able to do. And in this chapter, we got to see exactly why Oda is the GOAT. So One Piece chapter 1075 is called Labofei's Death Game. So based off that title, I'm literally just thinking that it's going to be a battle royale. And to be fair, when we got to Egghead Island, I didn't even think anything like this would happen. I thought it'd be a fun learning arc before we go over to Elbaf. Also, in this chapter cover, we see the Gurosei and a young Dr. Vegapunk. And to be honest, I'm very curious as to why Oda put this cover page in, because a lot of the times he's talking to us about the story through these cover pages. So I just kind of want to see if this has any correlation. Maybe Dr. Vegapunk created the Gurosei. Maybe he was a scientist who bioengineered these humans, but we don't know. Anyways, getting to the chapter, we see that there is an explosion from last chapter. One of the Vegapunks is dead, Pythagoras, or so we think. And Shaka is literally looking through all the film cameras and all the video cameras, and you just see a shadow is destroying the lab in and out. And Luffy gets up and says, hey, I can't hear their voices anymore. I can't hear any of the other Vegapunks, so let's go figure out what's going on. We cut away to Nami, my favorite girl, and she is finding treasure when she should be looking for the other Vegapunks, but she doesn't care. My girl gotta get that bread. And to be fair, same Nami. Honestly, this is one of my favorite running gags in One Piece. Not because I'm just a Nami simp. I actually really do think this is funny. When Nami's only looking for money and jewels in midst of pure chaos, and then she has this really cute panel where she's like, this is heavy, can you help me take all this jewels back? And she literally just has all the jewels on her back, and she looks actually very happy. I'm a Nami fan, sue me, I don't care. We then get to go to the other Straw Hats and seeing how they're navigating through Egghead Island, and is talking to their Vegapunks that they're with and learning really cool information. Chopper's able to learn that Vegapunk has some great medicine that he is working on, and Frankie and Usopp are getting to see some of the cool weapons that Lilith has been able to create. We then also get to go back to Edison, and he's talking with Luffy saying that someone's on the island and someone is destroying our cameras, and that's why Luffy is not hearing any of their voices and how they're disappearing one by one. And my guess for who is on the island is a Blackbeard crewmate, Shiru of the Raid. So in one of my videos I just posted, go check it out if you haven't, Blackbeard's Endgame. I think that Shiru is on Egghead Island because Blackbeard is operating off screen and on screen, and what he's doing is he's gaining power for this final war. And he sent his crewmates all throughout the world trying to get new pieces and new strength, with the devil fruits, with Aokiji and them capturing Pudding. And that would make sense if you want the world's greatest scientist who can literally create seraphims for you. Blackbeard has so much interest in him. Shiru's ability is invisibility. So if Vegapunk just suddenly disappeared, it would make a lot of sense if Shiru just grabbed Vegapunk and then disappeared and ghosted. And then he could also be there to destroy some of the islands, destroy some of the technology so the world government can't have any of it. I'd see that as making a lot of sense as well. But that's who I think is on the island, but this is all speculation. We have no idea who's on the island, but someone's here destroying everything. We then also get to see how Sanji and Jinbei are handling things. And to be fair, I honestly have not really been liking Sanji since the time skip, just because of how much of a simp he's become. But for this with Stussy, I'm actually on his side completely. I can't blame him, and it's actually really funny. I'm not sure if this is the actual translation, or it could be a mistranslation, but Sanji is literally like saying, can you call me your dog? And Stussy's like, as long as you find me Stella, then of course. And I gotta give it to you, Sanji. I cannot blame you. Stussy is chef's kiss. She is incredible. I would love to be her dog. I'm on your side 100%. We then find the head of Pythagoras, and he is saying that I threw my head off before I was fully destroyed. And before he can explain what's happening, York goes over to the Boa Seraphim and gets frozen by the Love Mellow. And then it's at this point we see that the Seraphims are actually attacking and moving on their own against Vegapunk's order and against Sentomaru's order. So now we are seeing that these Seraphims are operating on their own and actually attacking Vegapunk and the Straw Hats, which is great for me because I've been wanting to see what these Seraphims could actually do, especially against the Straw Hats. So I want to see some actual fights. But these Seraphims are not listening to Lilith and the other Vegapunks trying to command them to stop fighting. But Lilith is just warning them. He's like, I created these guys to be the strongest humans, so there's no way we can actually take on these Seraphims. Then we get a cut back to Zoro and Luffy, and Zoro's just like, lend me a hand, Luffy. Luffy's like, what's going on? But before we can answer that, we see the Kuma Seraphim and the Mihawk Seraphim posed up, looking menacing. And Zoro's just saying, hey, I'm trying to protect Rob, Lucci, and Kaku. I don't like these guys, but if they died while handcuffed, I would feel bad. There'd be some bad taste in my mouth if I let them die this way, so let's protect them. While Zoro says this, the Seraphims launch very devastating attacks at Rob, Lucci, and Kaku, and both Zoro and Luffy protect them and get out of the way. And the Shaka Vegapunk is saying that my orders aren't being obeyed. That means the one who gave this command was Vegapunk, and if this was all calculated, the communications being cut off, us being trapped in the barrier, then someone is out to kill all of us. And remember that conversation I had at the very beginning of this video where I said Oda is a master at bringing back villains and other side characters back into the world of One Piece? Well, this is where it comes into play. Lucci and Kaku both wake up and they're saying, so these guys are out to kill us, and the Seraphims aren't messing around. So Kaku's just like, hey, Straw Hat, Roronoa, let's put our past grudges aside for now, and should we join forces? If you take off these handcuffs, I'm sure we will be useful. And my favorite panel is both Zoro and Luffy having their disgusted faces, and it looks so funny, especially Luffy's. But to be fair, why would you want to work with the worst people in the world? They try to kill Robin. I honestly hate Lucci. Kaku, whatever, but I hate Lucci with a passion, so it's really funny to see them trying to work together. And honestly, I'm actually very excited to see, because I want to see these four fight together. But at the same time, if Lucci and Kaku try to go after Robin again, my boys have to put the hurt on them. To be honest, I'm not even worried, because Luffy basically no-diffed Lucci hella easy, and Zoro also no-diffed Kaku pretty easy. So they can take these guys, but it's just weird that we're in this situation where I never once thought in a million years that Rob, Lucci, and Luffy would work together. And I read, I read and watched Enies Lobby, God, when I was like 8 or no, I was probably like 10 or 11, but I watched this so long ago, and to think that these villains would have a prominent role again in the story, it was just kind of beyond me. And where they're actually working together with the Straw Hats is just really cool. Like, I never thought that I would see them work together in this capacity, and now it would make a really interesting part for this final arc of Egghead Island, just all these enemies working together to escape and to beat the Seraphims, because I'm actually very curious as to how strong a Seraphim is, and it might take both Lucci and Luffy working together to defeat one. I really hope it doesn't, but if it does, then it shows the Seraphims are very strong, almost Admiral, almost Yonko level on their own. So it would make sense that you need some big bodies to actually do the finishing blows, but I want to see the full capabilities of the Seraphims. So I'm very excited for next week to see an all-out fight with the Seraphims, CP0, and the Straw Hats. But what did you guys think about this chapter? Are you guys excited to see Lucci and Kaku working with Luffy and Zoro? And then also, what did you guys think of that final panel with Zoro and Luffy both looking disgusting? I literally thought that was one of the funniest panels I saw. My friend spoiled it for me, so I will eternally hate my friend, but that panel deserves to be on a poster. I want to hang it in my room. But let me know what you guys thought about this chapter in the comments below, and remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.